We're going to do a during market hours update because I'm seeing some interesting things. And I just want to remind people of what we are really looking at here as far as it goes. So thank you so much if you've been here for a while or if you've been subscribed, you're part of Patreon because we've been putting some stuff out there about the dollar, about gold and things like that. We're going to look through a bunch of different charts. This won't just be the SPY and the Qs. We're actually going to look at certain things like DJT. We're going to actually look at GameStop since that's a big deal right now. We're going to look at a lot of things, so make sure to stick with us. So we're going to go through the SPY, the Qs. We might go over volatility, then we'll get into some individual names. For the most part here, guys, what have we been talking about? Trap number 3. And we suggested trap number 3 could be that lower high. Trap number 3 could be a higher one. And I'm always leaning towards the divergence if you don't know me by now. So what are we looking for? Hey, anytime this 2-hour crosses, notice how it is shaping up. So if we want to extend the timeline, what do we have to do here? We need to extend that 2-hour chart, right? So we can keep going up in October. Just a refresher, I know you know all, if you're new here, you might not know this, but we've been talking about this for actually weeks now, right? Trap number 1, trap number 2, and then we thought trap number 2 might be the big deal, right? We have the signals for it, but the Qs were nice enough to lend us a hand with the signals. So as of right now, if the 2-hour confirms down, that would be a bad sign. Have we seen the 30-minute lower high? Have we seen the 30-minute divergence as of yet? No, we have not. So we are very likely to set this trap for Friday. We are likely to come down into these areas. Friday, we're able to bounce up. Then on Friday, we actually see that 30-minute divergence potentially there. Now, I take that part with a grain of salt because of volatility. We're going to go over the Qs, and then we'll pop over to volatility. But that's all we're looking for there. The 2-hour chart here for the Qs, we can see the same thing, right? So the Qs were our hint. We did not have divergence on the MACD. We did not have divergence on the RSI. This is actually what first came to my mind and made me start talking about a trap number 3. Okay, that was the first thing. Then the signals down in here kind of proved it more so for the SPY and for volatility. Volatility told us as well. So very, very good. But if this confirms, that's going to be bad. That's going to turn down your daily chart. You're going to get this little tiny divergence here. You have divergence all the way across, So what we're looking for is if that 2-hour crosses down through the center line, you're going to go negative. You could be going into your first real negative trend that this has seen in a long time, right? We have not been in a negative trend since way back here. So this might be the first time where we actually see a 10 to 14% correction. That's what I've estimated as of right now if this 2-hour were to cross. You can see that if it were to cross, we could do something like this. Left head, right shoulder. We'll see. As of right now, is this bearish for as it stands? No. It is not bearish as it stands, right? It's positive, curled up in positive territory. So we have to find those signals in the 30-minute. We aren't necessarily seeing those. We're seeing extended across potential divergence, but we usually like to see it in the near price action. So yeah, still watching for if the 2-hour crosses, but we might buy ourselves some time here into next week. We'll have to see how that shapes up. Big thing I wanted to bring up was volatility. Once again, we are going to be getting into some of those individual stocks in a moment. So thank you so much for subscribing and sticking with us. What I was watching was I really wanted this to break down, give us that divergence point. But if you notice in here, you kind of do have that RSI divergence between these lows. You have 15-minute divergence all the way across, and that's able to curl up the 2-hour chart as of right now. Now, that would be on a negative bar. I like to see it as a positive one, but the 2-hour confirming by the center line means trap number 3 could be already set in stone. I wanted to put that out there. Trap number 3 could be right now. It really could, according to volatility. Volatility refuses to turn down the daily chart. It is rejecting off of its daily 20 as of now. And you see all the divergences that we are paying attention to. And what is it now? It has gone positive this week. So if it's gone positive this week, that means we are very, very close. Now, I want to tie this in to what we were talking about over on Patreon. On Patreon, we actually were showing off GLD. Now, we have the weekly and monthly expected moves for GLD up on Patreon in the and actually the link's in the description, but we have those levels up and we are outside of a weekly expected move. Now, if you want those levels, you got to join Patreon. They do help you with it, but look at the daily chart. Okay, if you're not part of Patreon, we're still going to talk about it. Look at the daily chart. You're outside of a weekly expected move. I'm giving you that information completely for free. Thank you to my Patreon members. We see that the daily needs to do what for gold? Well, it probably needs to do what? It probably needs to pull back in some way. It needs to probably pull back, maybe down to a monthly expected move, which is also out on Patreon. That's pretty nice. So maybe we're just going to pull back to a monthly expected move and then go to the upside. But we can see that since August, really, if you look at this, let's go all the way. If you look at this, December, so during 2025, what's been going on? Well, the gold's just been going up. And overall, I know we went through a slight hiccup early on in the year, but overall, okay, gold's been going up. What's the market been doing? Well, the market's been going up, right? The SPY, we had this big hiccup, right? Say big hiccup, but hey, guess what? It's at all-time highs, right? The other part to that is the dollar. If the gold is really, really high up, you'd expect the dollar to be down. So you notice that we have the drawings from some of the postings to Patreon. We have all this divergence from the dollar. We have all this divergence from the MACD and RSI at the same time for the dollar, and we're at the bottom of the channel, and this has been going down for all of 2025. I'll hold my marker here. You can see that says January 2025. So what is going to happen if this starts to change? And something that we say on this channel a lot of the time, something that I've always kept in mind is if cash is going up, well, then that means people are potentially selling out of stocks. How I understand this is I sell a stock to make profit in cash. So I am trading a stock for cash. That means what is going on here? Is this changing the overall underlying parts of the market right now? Are we about to see people go into cash out of gold and out of the market? And that's overall what I could see being suggested. Now, that being said, some people are saying, hey, we could awaken a demon and just explode to the upside. That is why we are waiting for those confirmations for the market. So right now, be paying close attention to actually if the 2-hour chart does confirm down here, because there's always that underlying risk that this just starts to blow through the floor. We go through something kind of, I've seen the word parabolic thrown out there. So I wanted to put that out there, but overall, you know what I'm leaning towards. Volatility is one of my best friends, and volatility is saying we are going to get a 10 to 14% correction. Most likely, right? The top is going to be set in September. Hey, we're leaking out a little bit higher. We're always paying attention to those signals and updating because we're not mind readers, but this is really going to be a rough time for the market very, very soon, and it could start right now. That is what volatility is suggesting. Now, there were a few things I wanted to point out. First of all, let's go to the daily. IWM. I don't know why, but there's a ton of stocks with IWM, like small cap stocks that have potentially really good signals. And we're going to go through one or two of those, but I can tell you right now, GME's signals aren't that good. But you can see how much this has gone up, how much divergence we have still been creating, how really squeezy we're looking. It looks like this could retrace at any moment, so that kind of adds into our thinking. We notice that the DIA, the Dow Jones, is really going to suffer here. Now, this could really put a damper on the SPY, and you notice we've never made that right shoulder that could have been. So we could come all the way back to 420 before we're able to head up any higher. We could see that take place. I just wanted to show off those markets for a moment. Now, Tesla, if you are watching Tesla, look at the daily, right? This is how we look at these things. We just look at the daily, we go, that needs a pullback, right? The pullbacks are the opportunities, right? So if I'm going to buy it here, well, it's top side of the MACD. I'd rather buy it by that center line for a good trade. So what's very likely to happen here is a daily pullback that ends up keep going, really. That is what you would like to see. Do we have hints for that pullback taking place? You have dramatic squeeze-like divergence across all of this. So Patreon members, make sure to pay attention to your weekly expected moves. But this is potentially confirming today, which tells us that tomorrow is going to be very risky for Tesla. You can always go and make that little 30-minute divergence in the near price action, right, on a Friday towards those options expirations, but Tesla in a rough spot. But we go and we look at something like Amazon, and this has like the opposite signal. It looks like it's about to rebound for some kind of retest into where those sellers really got started towards that 229 we've had marked off for a long time. So just very interesting to me. Now it is negative. It's close enough to the center line to see a good move. You'll really want to watch this one for potential rejection at 229. If you can take it back, make new highs, we might be talking about a different story. As we go over to something like NVIDIA, really pay attention if the daily crosses down. This will be a great little divergence point, like you just really tried to FOMO it back up. Didn't work out. Do we have 2-hour divergence as of right now? Not necessarily. So you don't really have NVIDIA leaning towards that. Now, I'm going to actually get into I just wanted to talk about a few random ones first. I'm going to actually get into some that are showing interesting things. So like DJT is super interesting to me right now. You have this daily that's really, really close to the center line. Like it wants to gear up and go. I don't understand this market, but I do understand that we've had some squeezing going on. It looks like Kohl's, Beyond Meat, and we have Rumble, we have Wolf. Wolf went up to $27, $28. I don't know if some liquidity issues are happening here to suppress certain stocks from, say, market makers, say, hedge funds, but this is a really, really good signal. Like, this is a much better signal, and I'm sorry to say it. I wish it the best. I do hold this. GME, the signals that we're getting right now suggest if they confirm, they are not confirmed right now. I'm being very honest about this. They are not confirmed. So this is bullish as it stands. But we do have this 2-hour divergence for GME, right? We have it across the way. We've extended it for some time here, but it is there. So if the 2-hour crosses down, that is suggesting that we will get a daily pullback, okay? So that is what I wanted to point out with you guys. Now, the 30-minute is also suggesting in the near term that the weakness in momentum is here. And so the momentum here is not looking good for GME. So if you want these signals to fail, you do not want this 2-hour to cross down. You just want to keep seeing bullishness. You never want to see the 2-hour cross down. But if the 2-hour were to cross down, that would say there's a higher probability of getting a 2-hour negative trend move, aka a daily pullback. So I wanted to point that out. AMC is in the similar boat, right? If the 2-hour crosses down, what do we have here? Well, weirdly enough, you actually have divergence. It's sneaky, but you do have it. So AMC has that divergence as well, suggesting a daily pullback is coming, right? A daily, actually, and this one would be in negative territory. So you could make a new low down towards I would say 260 for AMC before this is able to get going again. So what do you want to see, or what do you not want to see? You do not want to see the 2-hour MACD cross down here for AMC. You don't want to see it for GME. And I don't know why, but DJT just has some pretty great signals. I mean, I think it's the 1-hour chart that looks really nice here. The 1-hour divergence right there. Very nice. So are we going to see some squeeze plays? I think that would be very, very interesting to see. We've seen some of the plays we were talking about making that next leg higher, actually getting confirmation. JP Morgan, all of these stocks are really screaming to us, hey, we're tapped out. Just a few that look like they could go a little bit higher, maybe like if Google catches some kind of move. But I just wanted to have some fun, talk about a bunch of charts, and talk about some interesting ones like GME that are overall suggesting the momentum is weak. So it really needs to burst through, I would say, in the next 2 trading sessions to go higher. But for the SPY, for this market right now, we're paying attention to what? We're paying attention to trap number 3, right? We're hoping the market gives us hints so we can get those early positions. That's always the best case. That means that overall we are looking for some kind of 30-minute divergence here from the market, before Friday's end. Some kind of divergence here would be very nice before Friday is over. If we are not going to get this 2-hour to confirm, then there is no trade. I wanted to be clear about that. There is no kind of topping signal confirmed unless this 2-hour is confirmed down. Hey, I just wanted to make a video during the day for you guys. By the way, if you wanted to know, the daily expected moves will be put out on Patreon. Make sure to click the link down in the description, because we will have all of the daily expected moves for all the stocks that we do look at on the right side of your screen. So I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see if an afternoon update is necessary. But for now, get those daily expected moves over on Patreon. The link is down in the description. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.